Hi everybody, good morning. We're back here again with another guest, trying to add as much value to my viewers, to my audience, to my followers. Every week at Empowering You, we come up with having different guest speakers to talk about different topics on parenting, on mental health, on women care. So today I have Dr. Sonam with me. She is a very well-known dermatologist and she's going to be answering all our questions in skincare. If you've forgotten, I am Siddhika Goenka, your positive parenting expert, your mind transformation coach. I've been working since the last 15 years, impacting more than 25,000 lives. So are you ready with me? We have Dr. Sonam here. I'm just going to invite her. One second. Okay. Hi, good morning.
Good
Hello, good
morning,
morning, Dr.
Siddhika.
Sonam. Hi, nice to
Good
see you.
morning, Siddhika. Nice to see you as well.
How are
How are
you?
you doing? I'm doing great. How about you?
Very well, very well. So we're so excited and we're glad that you're here today because, all of us have so many questions about skin, our own skin, our children's skin, our partner's skin. It's like never ending.
Never ending. I'm equally thrilled and excited and honored to be there on your page. Tell me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Would you like to just tell us a little bit about yourself? That would be great.
Yes. So for people who don't know me, I am Dr. Sonam Ramrakani. I'm a practicing dermatologist and an aesthetic expert from the last 12 years. I am based out of Thane and have an extreme interest in subjects which affect the quality of life. So problems like acne, problems like hair fall, problems like scars, these are my favorite areas of interest where I like to work, because I think more than anything else, the way the results can transform a person's life is just so magical that it is I feel it's the most rewarding thing that I can do in my life, and that gives me a good
Absolutely.
night's sleep.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sleep and skin are so important and it's
Absolutely.
interrelated as well. And skin is something that all of us have been sometimes even taking for granted, especially children's
Absolutely.
skin. As a mother of three, I feel a lot of the times priority goes on health, nutrition, mental health, all of that. And kind of skin is just, skin takes a back seat.
What I think, Siddhika, here is, as children ourselves and even our parents, as children themselves, were never brought up with the idea of skincare being equal to healthcare. It was always looked upon as a luxury. It was never a
Absolutely.
necessity. But of
Absolutely.
late, what I have started observing is lifestyle is changing. People are getting more knowledgeable. People are getting more informed. People are getting more exposed thanks to the internet to so much more that it becomes a little, you know, difficult for a child in their teenage to accept themselves with acne. The
Definitely.
Instagram filters are only adding, when you look at everybody so perfect, you want to be that perfect too. And it's not wrong to be asking for such a thing. But at the
Totally.
same time, if you have, a face full of acne, maybe those one or two can still be manageable, where we talk about mental health and tell them to, calm down and be peaceful. But then if you have a face full of acne and your parents are still of the opinion, ये तो teenage की problem है, अपने आप चली जाएगी, then the child feels left off. Then the child
Absolutely.
feels unattended to. So it's
Absolutely.
my humble request to parents that, do not think of your children as yourselves. We've gone through a different upbringing process and a different time frame altogether. Today's children think differently, perceive differently,
Exactly.
accept differently, and more importantly, respond differently.
And as a
So
parenting
if
expert, I would like to say, today appearance has become so important to teenagers as well. And
correct,
Instagram, Facebook, all the content that they're consuming is really affecting the way they're looking at themselves. So let's
absolutely,
give skincare equal priority to healthcare and make it a necessity,
absolutely,
not a luxury.
not
It's as
luxury.
important. And simple thing, Dr. Sonam, I say this to everybody. When you know better, you do better. With times
Absolutely,
changing, the more you know, there is a personal obligation that you do justice to what you know. You do
correct,
justice to your knowledge, to your education, to your experience. So today, let's
Absolutely.
kind of strive to make sure that we do better. If we know that, let's give
Yes.
that, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to
Yes.
jump into my first question. We'll start
Absolutely.
with for the audience that's watching me. So for adults, I would ask you first, just a general kind of what is the best skincare routine right now? You know,
The
for
one line answer, Siddhika, to this is the best skincare is the one that you actually follow. So
exactly.
there's nothing that is worse than having a table full of your skincare products out of which none of them you use. And this is the more commoner scenario than people not knowing. Like you said, nowadays everybody knows. Today, Instagram, Google, YouTube give you everything that you want to know. Question is how much of that can you really rely on? Number one. Number two, if you've anyways decided and got the bottle at home, why are you not using it? So using it is the first important, or consistency in your skincare plan is the first rule that has to apply. For anything good or for anything bad to happen to your skin, it will take a.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Go
Yeah, am
ahead.
I audible now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So in case of skincare, the first most important rule that applies is consistency. You have to be consistent with your skincare to even come to a conclusion that it's working for you or it's not working for you. Now, once you've decided that you're going to be consistent, which I think everybody should be, it's just as equal to, if not more important than having a bath. You take a bath every day, right? So is putting your moisturizer. So is putting your sunscreen every day equally important. Now, the question here is what should I follow every day, doctor? What is my routine that I must follow? For all kinds of skin type, for all kinds of age groups, proper cleansing is rule number one. Proper nourishment is rule number two, which is, with the help of moisturizers, with the help of oil massages like we do for babies. So every age group will have a different moisturizing practice, but then cleansing followed by moisturizing, and the third element being protection. So using your sun protective clothing, sun protective creams, or protection in all forms
So
is the three
cleansing,
basic pillars.
moisturizing, and protection, right?
Protection,
Now I want to
yes.
ask you for cleansing. So I always struggle with this with my children. What is the right age to start a face cleansing routine for girls, for children, in fact? When should you start the face wash? Should you use a face wash early? What is the right age you would
See,
think?
as long as children are yet to achieve puberty, the oil glands on the face are pretty much underactive. They're not so active. So your face and body is similar, which is why your body wash doubles up as your face wash. It should be gentle, it should be mild, it should be non-fragrance, non-preservatives, or paraben-free. Those are the kind of products you would like to choose for your children who have extremely delicate and sensitive skin. And that could be the same as your face wash, as your body wash. Nowadays, even we are coming up with products which can be used on the hair as well. So it can be a one and all kind of a product for
So
children.
that's fine for children. So a shower gel is good
Yes.
for face as well, for
Yes.
mild, non-acidic.
Yes. Yes. So that's as long as your child hasn't achieved the signs of puberty.
Yeah.
Now, once your child goes through pubertal changes and you start seeing a little bit of accumulation of oil around the T-zone, around the nose, you've started seeing breakouts, you've started seeing blackheads, whiteheads, their oil glands on the face are starting to fire up. Now, because the face becomes different from the body in this regard, this is exactly where you will need a different product for the face compared to the body. All right. Here, if your child's skin turns out to be oily with acne or with pimples, blackheads, whiteheads, and excess oil related problems, you would choose an oily face cleansers, which obviously would be mild and gentle to begin and then gradually would be increasing with age. But if your child, even after puberty, tends to have dry skin or flaky skin or red skin or sensitive skin, in such regards, you would need products which are still almost similar to what you were using earlier. So gentle, non-foaming, creamy, hydrating cleansers is what you would want to look for.
Super. That really answers my question on that. Okay, the next thing is now what can we all want healthy skin, right? We all want glowing skin. We want our skin to speak for ourselves, right? Nowadays, we're all kind of
Absolutely.
getting on stage, doing these public appearances, so our skin should be healthy. I know most doctors suggest a balanced diet, a nutritious diet is what keeps the skin healthy. But apart from that, is there anything, any one pointer that you could give us that I can go and implement right away?
Very simple. I see a lot of inhibition of people to accept the fact that they are aging. and that they need help. So we have to understand aging is not like a trigger button that I've pressed after 25, that I press after 35, or that I press after 40. No, technically we are aging from the day one that we are born, right? It's just that till 20, 25 years of age, your repair machinery is extremely perfect. So your daily damages happen to get repaired on a daily basis, which is why you don't see them accumulating on the skin. But if you cross your 20s, 25s, that's when your repair machinery starts to slow down. Plus, your entire body's machinery, including your gut, also weakens. So when this happens, the absorption of essential vitamins, minerals from the food that you were anyways eating. This is in a case scenario where I'm assuming that the child has been eating healthy with informed mothers like we have today. You know, parents are extremely conscious of what the child is taking in right from the beginning. So assuming that if you're eating very healthy from the time you're born till date, even then after your 20, 25, your absorption machinery is going to get weaker. So is it really going to be capable to take up that much from the same food? The clear answer is no, right? So this is going to further slow down your body's defense mechanisms, repair mechanisms, and all of that. So around your 20, 25, 30, 35 is in this bracket is where you will start observing damages on the skin don't get repaired. They hang over for a longer time. And then they keep accumulating, which is when people start looking for a doctor. So instead of this, if early in the ages of 25, 35 is when you really meet a doctor and start considering to take supplements. Now, supplements is not a pill that we manufacture and we want to sell, right? That's not the idea. The idea is to really supplement the nutrition that you're losing. So look at it from that point of view and help yourself with the necessary requirements that your body would have. This would help you in the most natural way to keep your own repair and defense mechanisms active, which is exactly what even we want. We don't want you to be layering yourself with 10,000 creams to repair different problems. It will be much easier if I can give you a supplement that can keep your skin healthier from inside, right? Absolutely. So your collagen supplements, your vitamin supplements, your minerals, your antioxidants, which are very well there in the food. So nowhere am I trying to say that your food is bad. No, your food, yes, the quality of the food is also going down day by day. That's a fact. But having said that and taking that into consideration, your supplements are a much higher dose than what your food can give you, which is why it's not wrong to take a supplement. However, which one you need would depend on, after your consultation with your expert is when you would realize what is to be taken.
Absolutely. So you would say supplements is really important.
Absolutely. For everybody.
Everybody, and that the right supplement can only be found out if you consult a doctor, a dermatologist, a skin doctor.
Absolutely.
Great, that's great advice, because I know a lot of times, especially women, are very hesitant towards supplements. They feel, oh, we're getting everything, we're eating a balanced diet, we're vegetarian, but we're having everything that's healthy, but still there is something lacking. So I think
the idea of plain calcium supplementation in postmenopausal women has taken so many years to be established now.
Absolutely.
Today we see women who agree that, now because I'm menopausal, I probably should be considering a calcium supplement. My dear friends, it's too late. You must consider your supplements way ahead before you lose that bone density, before you lose that skin shine. So it's for prevention. It's not for correction. And the later you start, the lesser it works. So remember this and start early.
Absolutely. So I hope everybody who's listening to me, prevention, start your supplements. If you've not started it, my every life, my idea is that you implement, you take action. You don't just listen to me and the guest and you're like, yeah, she's so good, she's so right, and then nothing. That's not what I want from all of you guys. Are y'all there? Please take action. So if the doctor is saying supplements are good, consult your skin doctor and take it. Great. My next question. What can I do to protect my child's skin from sunburns?
Okay. Now, this is a very, very important question, very, very relevant, and at the same time, very practically answerable. What would you do to protect? Number one is obviously cover, which is physical protection, which is the easiest to perform, right? So you wear full clothes, you wear loose cotton-based clothes, which would help you protect the child from the summer rays. Now, because the rays are so harsh, and if you're involved into outdoor activities or outdoor events or anything where you feel the sun exposure is going to be very high, you would choose either clothing which is coming with protective factors, which means it's tightly woven. So when there's a tight, weaving of the fabric, the sun rays are not able to penetrate through, which is why your skin stays protected. But if you're wearing those Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So if your clothing is like linen, where the weaving is not very tight, the sun radiation is still reaching your skin and the damage is still being done. So choose your clothing wisely. If you're out in the sun, caps, hats, scarves, masks, UV glasses, these are protective equipment that you can use even for children. So that's beginning from a younger age. Now, post 6 months of age, sunscreens are applicable. So you can very well start using a sunscreen for your child if the child is above 6 months of age. However, those sunscreens are going to be different from the ones that you and I would use. They are going to be purely physical sunscreens. So we do not introduce our children to chemical filters very early. Taking this into consideration, the sunscreen application has to start from 6 months of age. How often are you supposed to be doing this? You're supposed to be repeating your sunscreen every 3 hourly, irrespective of your child really going anywhere or not. 6 months baby is not expected to walk around, right? But then you're still going to put your sunscreen every 3 hourly. Reason for this? There's enough sunlight that enters the house, plus this additional exposure to blue light and infrared radiations within the house. So using a sunscreen protects you from these as well. And that's why,
regardless of the exposure, 3 hour
yes,
sunscreen application is
for children. You can be a little lenient because 6-month-old babies would still be wrapped, covered, and there would be more protection, which is physical. So you can take the sunscreen on the lower side. But the moment your child is going to school, the moment your child is going for sports, the moment your child is going for a swim, you definitely know that you need a lot of protection.
And
that's
what
on the external.
What SPF is best for children?
Anywhere between 30 to 50 would be decently good. Having a higher SPF does not mean you will not need to reapply. So do not run for a higher SPF because that much thicker your product gets. So
SPF
instead of
30
layering,
to 50, that's quite a bit.
Yeah. That's quite a good SPF for the Indian weather that we have. However, reapplication is what basically plays the game. So if you're not reapplying, even a 50 or a 60 is not going to do the job for you.
Guys, I'm making my notes, because I love getting the most out of every encounter. I'm making my notes. I hope y'all are making your notes too.
I'm sure it will be helpful.
Here on sunscreen, which is a good sunscreen for boys who are, generally outdoors, sports a lot. Can you give us maybe a couple of names?
Yeah, sure. So for boys, if you're referring to boys who are still below the age of 12 to 14 and are involved in sports, I would still stick to physical sunscreens. Now, what are physical sunscreens? The ones which don't have chemical filters. Okay. Some examples here would be Z Block, would be, Physio. There are many ones. I am not recollecting the names, but Sunban Soft is another one. So anything, yes. Then there is...
what about the commercial ones like, Lotus and Wow and, all of this stuff?
I am not against those brands, but then yes, I do feel that I do not know enough in those brands. What I mean to say is, suppose if they're claiming to have an SPF 50, as long as the filters in the sunscreen are not disclosed, or the percentage or the concentration of those products is not really disclosed on the bottle, how do you believe that it has any of those? And how do I, as a learned person who knows that these filters will do the job, when they are missing on the bottle labels completely, how do you think will I believe that it gives me an SPF 50? It's not practical, right? Which is why we would choose to have, better faith on products from pharma companies which have the complete information on the label, not just for me to read, for any other person to read through.
So can you please give me the pharma company names again? Just for everybody's benefit.
The best one that I like to use is Z Block.
Z Block.
Z Block.
Z Block. Okay.
Yeah. There's Z Block. Then there is Photo Stables. I think it's called Soft.
Okay. Soft.
And yeah. Then you have a couple of them. You have the Sundan Soft also. Okay. And you have a Sun Cross Soft as well. So all of these ones would actually refer to as physical sunscreens,
Yeah.
which is when you find out that this is suitable for your child. So if your sunscreen says physical and chemical, no. If it says pure physical, that's when you can use it. If it says mineral, even then you can use it.
Okay, mineral is fine as well. Mineral sunscreen.
Yes.
And what
Yes.
about for adults, doctor? Which sunscreen? Because nowadays there is a plethora of, I mean, every cream claims to have an SPF, literally.
Yes.
And with so many online applications for skincare, you just get so confused. There are tons and tons of creams
Done.
with SPF. So I know I'm
Absolutely.
thoroughly confused which SPF is, which sunblock is good for my skin.
Okay. See, for adults, the highest degree of protection is obviously the best degree of protection because we are more actively involved into outdoor work. We are more actively exposed to gadgets. We are more actively exposed to the harmful radiations, to pollution, to dust. So definitely the highest degree of protection would mean the best. Now, this means an SPF in the range of anywhere between 50 to 60.
Okay.
This would mean a physical and a chemical filter put together, or a mineral one again. This would again mean reapplication.
Yes.
So with all these considerations, a few examples that you would want to have, which are good and light on the skin as well. It would depend on your skin type. If you're a dry skin type candidate, you would like to use the ones which are coming with more nourishing agents like hyaluronic acid. For example, the Dermaco sunscreen is a beautiful one at that. It gives you a very nice, soft and dewy feeling on the skin.
Which one is
It's
that?
the
Dermacore.
Yeah, it's from the Dermaco. It is with 1% hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
And versus against this, if you're a person with oily skin, you would rather want to use something which is more silicone based, which is more like a mattifying kind of a product on the skin. Where Cleanance from Avene is one of the very good products.
Which one from Avene?
Cleanance. Cleanance.
Clean.
You want me to spell that for you?
Yes, please. Yeah.
CLEAN
Mm-hmm.
ANCE.
ANCE. I hope all of you have got that. Cleanance from Avene is great.
Yes. Both of these are SPF 50, but have very different textures. So people with oily skin would want to use the more mattifying ones, versus people with dry skin would want to use the more hydrating ones.
So this one is the more hydrating one, right? The Avene one is for oily skin.
The Avene one is the mattifying one, which is for oily skin. And the first one that I gave you is for people with dry skin.
For dry skin. Great. Guys, we're getting a lot of information here. I hope y'all are registering it. Anything else that you'd like to say for sunblock?
Reapplication. I think that's the biggest area we miss.
Absolutely.
People
so in
apply
a day, I would recommend putting it at least thrice for adults. I mean, or more.
9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. multiplied by lifetime.
That's a lot. I mean, I know I don't do it for sure. I'm terrible with skincare, but that's just me. Especially for us, like for working women and women with a lot of kids and families, we find excuses in everything. I mean, I know for me, skincare comes last. So I'm a terrible example, but yeah.
I'm sure most of us have begun like this, but then with increasing times, with increasing information, like you said, the more you know, the more you're empowered. And once you have the power in your hands, why would you not want to use it? It's because we don't know. So I was never told by my mother that a sunscreen is going to be protective and you should use it. It always seemed like a luxury.
Great education as mothers to kids as well. We miss out on talking about this also. I mean, I'm realizing that as a parent that we're talking about so many different things, but we kind of connect skin with beauty. Whereas skin is not really beauty. Skin is an essential. We're not making our children very superficial or very, surface or very pompous just because we're focusing on skin.
Yes, I get that from a lot of parents who, even after having a medical concern, visiting a doctor, being prescribed a sunscreen as a part of their treatment, often tend to ask me when I say this 9, 12, 3, and 6 lifetime, they tell me, lifetime? Are you sure about this? I said, see, the only thing you have to understand is, do you ever stop brushing your teeth? Never, right? Do you stop using a soap? It's equally a chemical, right? Absolutely. Do you ever think of it like this? Do you stop using a shampoo? The answer is never. Why? Because your parents told you this is good for cleansing. This is good for keeping your body healthy, good for keeping your body clean. Why don't you look at your skin like an organ, which itself is the largest organ in the body, and start protecting it.
And I think it's an invest. People don't even spend money on sunscreens. Like, it would be one of the last things. You see a sunscreen, you just kind of buy it. You won't even think, okay, you don't even spend time on it.
Correct.
Great.
With
Thank you
ads,
so
with
much.
ads and commercials, it's become a little more easier for people to go out and buy one. But the sorry part there is they don't understand which one.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I have a lot of questions here. Let me try and take a couple of them.
sure.
Here. So, Rohit says having seborrheic dermatitis, too much oily skin, greasy dandruff even after shampooing, too much hair fall. I don't even feel even pain when hair fall happens. In fact, if I try to pull out, no pain.
Your roots generally will not be very sensitive to pain, but seborrheic dermatitis is a recurrent condition. And what is very, very important here is there is a fungal component and there is an inflammatory component. So both need handling. When you use anti-dandruff shampoos, you're only addressing the fungal components. You're not doing anything to the inflammatory component. You need to see an expert who will tell you either steroids or any other kind of medication that is going to be useful to treat the inflammation is going to be the key there. So visit your expert, visit your doctor. We are available for online consultations if that suits you. Let us know.
Absolutely. So whenever, guys, there is any kind of particular problem, consult the doctor. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this, right? Consult
Yes,
somebody
yes.
so you can get advice. Dr. Sonam is available for online consultation. You can definitely talk to her. She seems extremely knowledgeable, extremely experienced. I love the advice that she's giving. So I'd recommend all of you go schedule a call with her.
Thank you so much.
Somebody asked, where is your hospital or personal clinic?
I am based out of Thane on Golganda Road.
Okay. All right. Great. You can message her and she will give that to you. All right. Can you share your personal skincare routine, doctor, with us?
Yes. As a teenager, I had extreme acne and
Okay.
I do have a few scars still left on my face. So that's how my skincare started drifting towards the oilier skincare range. Now, a basic cleansing followed by a proper light gel-based moisturizer and protection. This is something I have actually sweared by very honestly since the last 12 years. I was born with a relatively darker skin type in my family to the point that I was often referred to as, the least good looking. So my mother used to work hard for me to just be at par with my siblings. But today, my siblings happen to come down to me and tell me, give us something to use. You look better now. So what is that better that has changed? It's only the consistency of 12 years of putting these products. So there's no magic in any one bottle. It has to be your simple basic stuff, but putting it rightly and putting it continuously. So 12 years, I haven't missed my sunscreen even a single day.
Wow. That's amazing. And which one do you use? Just to
I
know.
personally like to, yeah, I personally like to use the Ray Protect sunscreen from Dermatica. It's a mineral sunscreen.
Okay. Say that again, please.
Yeah, it's called Ray Protect
Okay.
from Dermatica.
Dermatica. And these are available, right? These are
Dermatica.face.
available
These are
online.
all available online. These are all available online.
And I hope they're pocket friendly too, because a lot of people feel
I would rather like to say, Siddhika, there are pocket friendly options, but then yes, here with sunscreens in particular, your face washes and other stuff, probably the chemical formulation is what decides what you want to use, and that will decide the price. You have cheaper options, you have expensive options. When it
absolutely.
comes to sunscreen, it's like a fitting. You may wear a brand or you may wear a non-branded clothing, but the fit absolutely has to be customized according to you, right? You can't wear someone else's size. So
Absolutely.
similarly, when it's about sunscreens, it's not really the price which makes it good or bad. It's the formulation that suits you. So suppose if you sweat a lot, you'd like to use a lighter gel-based or a mineral-based sunscreen, which doesn't feel on the skin, right? You would want to have it like this. And if such formulations are going to be on the little expensive side. Now that's the case with me because once I am in office, I am exposed to all of this for almost 8 to 9 hours at a stretch. And I have to keep reapplying my sunscreen, sometimes even without washing my face again. So in such occasions, it has to be very, very light. It should not be seen, it should not be felt. So I wouldn't mind an expensive sunscreen or a moderately expensive sunscreen. Doesn't have to be out of the roof, but then a
Absolutely.
moderately expensive one which suits my kind of work. Now, versus somebody who is in a very cold climate, would want something which is more heavier, would want something which is more layering. Those options are available and they're extremely cheap as well, because giving you more SPF automatically makes the cream thicker. So by its natural meaning, more protection would mean more thicker cream, which is not okay with oily skin, which is why they have to specially work to formulate them in certain ways, which adds the cost. So dry skin people are a little luckier there. Their sunscreens are always going to be on the cheaper side. The oilier people will always have it the expensive way, if you're looking at really good formulations.
No, that explains it a lot. Definitely. I mean, that's super. I think there are a lot of questions, but I would recommend all of you, request you guys, DM her, talk to her, schedule an appointment, and get your questions answered.
Always available.
Lovely. I think we can end with one last question. How do you prevent the acne? We've spoken, you said you have a special interest in acne, you have a personal interest in acne. So I think you'd be the most perfect person to answer this. How do you prevent acne?
So first questions first, the most important aspect is acknowledging that you need to prevent acne. I'm sure once we have a problem, we're running for solutions. But because on your page, I'm sure there are many parents who are listening to me, I would strongly emphasize preventing acne is equally an important part than treating, or as compared to treating acne. So don't wait for your child to really get a lot of acne and then see a doctor. If you've started seeing acne, visit the doctor, because you can already predict that this child is going to get more of them. And one very important aspect that you need to remember is every single acne will give you a scar. It could be a small one or a big one, basis how you have handled it, but it is surely going to give you a scar. So in such regard, if you have more acne and you're waiting for them to settle down on their own, you're going to get that many more scars, which is going to scar the face of your child, who's going to live with it for life. Look at it like that problem. So start preventing your acne from the very beginning, and it's a much easier job then. Now, how do you prevent? Like I told you, a basic good cleanser suitable for that skin type. Now, good cleansers for acne prone skin would be either with salicylic acid or with benzoyl peroxide, or with gentle oil free cleansers. You get them in the market, like a Cetaphil oily cleanser. So you would grade them according to the severity. Not one person can use the same thing throughout life. So it's basis the age. At a smaller age, you'd like to use the more gentle based products. But then the moment your oiliness is increasing, you'd want more stronger products. The acidic ones, the salicylic acid ones would come towards the end. So understanding this proper cleansing is important. Second very important tip is over cleansing is equally bad. So people keep washing their face and telling their children, wash 10,000 times in a day. That's when your acne will not come. Or you're getting acne because you're not cleaning well. No, my dear friends, that's not correct. Over cleansing will only overfire your oil glands. So you're going to get more acne the next time. Don't do that. Suitable cleanser twice a day, a proper moisturizer, proper protection using a sunscreen, and additionally at night, something which is for oil balancing. So either a salicylic acid, again, or an adapalene, or a benzoyl peroxide, or a tretinoin, or a retinoid. These are different available options. Niacinamide is one great thing that you can introduce to your child's skin if the child is still very young. So these are ingredients which would be age-based, problem-based, and severity-based. So speaking to an expert cannot be replaced with advice that I would give here on this platform. But these are options. These are what your doctor will use to give you a proper routine. Following that routine is important to preventing acne, number one. Number two, eating your foods correctly. So sugar, milk, and junk food. These are three things which you just should avoid if you have acne. Simply stay away from them. That's it. Those are the only two advices.
Great. Superb. Thank you so much, Sonam. Thank you for being here. And really, I am feeling super clear. And I know what my next step is. So I'm sure everybody's feeling that. Thanks a lot.
I'm glad I could contribute to their lives.
Absolutely. It's very useful. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Very soon. Bye-bye.